All right. Shalom, Yashala. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Waharaka Kodash Brakathum. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akyam, pushing the truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat out there listening. What I'd like to get into is, who we have here on the screen is, pretty popular rapper, NBA young boy, I believe is his name. And also, if I'm not mistaken, this is Floyd Mayweather's son-in-law, okay? And what he's about to say in this 17-second clip is something that we already knew, according to what? According to the spirit and power of prophecy, man. Through the spirit and power of prophecy, okay? According to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We know these things. And then, just knowing Jake, and then before brothers came into the truth, actually being, having a insight on what's going on. It's a very big, beautiful world, but it's also small too. As the saying goes, it's a small world. But it's a lot of common things that people who've been associated with music, or people who know someone who's credible on the wickedness that ensues in these industries, man. Okay. And he speaks perfectly on it. And I'm going to let this young man speak, and then I'm going to get some scriptures.
Man, this shit very demanding. This whole industry, this whole system, all this shit demanding. All this shit ran off money. All this shit do not mean nothing. It's very demanding. This whole music industry is very demanding. And as I say, this shit demanding. I'm very demanding.
Hey, he didn't, he didn't hold no punches, He didn't just throw the music industry under the bus. He's driving the bus, because a lot of these artists, man, they've, it's probably very much so unspeakable things that this goddamn devil has done, And even though Jake is responsible for their own actions, it's just the simple fact that, bro, why is this an option? Okay, that's the clear angle. Like, why is that even an option? Why is this even an obstacle? Why is this even inclusive in this industry, right? First and foremost, it's not of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah, okay? We've been seeing it for many years. Go, back to the, Jake who follow music. You got apostles, bishops, and elders, and so forth. Myself and other brothers, younger brothers, could be young as 20 and very knowledgeable with music and so forth. But I can't think of the Jake's name. Was it Hooker? That was his last name, or one of the blues legends. I think they said they sold their soul, to have musical talent, which you ain't got, that's a terrible contract. The Lord made you an Israelite. You're gifted, And matter of fact, I mentioned that, bear me, Baba Kusha. Bear with me. This is Matthew, and this is Yahushua HaMashiach speaking. This is Matthew chapter 16, verse, I'll start at verse 24. Then said Yahushua to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Okay, a lot of these Jakes, they've gone what? They've gone another path. They're not following after Yahushua HaMashiach. The left hand side, like we always say, man, the left hand side feels good, but it's a terrible contract in the end. Why? Because you're beaten down, you're dehumanized. Okay, you're really not a man in this society, and they don't, especially if you're, Israelite man. They do that as you have your humiliation rituals and so forth. And a lot of Jake is just fed up and saying, hey, I'm a part of a wicked ass industry, so it's no punches being pulled, okay? And there's no prophecy being hidden, okay? Let me reread verse 24 again, and I'll continue reading. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. A lot of Jake, I came from nothing, got it out the mud. Jake don't want to let that, that bag go, and it's worthless. And Jake, had the jewels on. He said it's empty. It's vain. It's vain. So like it's vanity. Verse 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Okay? You really have to detach yourself from this world. And of course it's tough, man, because, we still have to operate in this world. So it's a balance with Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Just because the Lord has awakened you to this truth, that don't mean to slack on daily life. Still continue to work out. Still continue to eat healthy. Still continue, to make your daily bread. Just know, hey, what to partake in and what not to partake in. Very detailed, very descriptive in the scriptures, man. Okay? Let me read verse 25 again. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Okay, you're trying to just hold on to this, this persona and be somebody here. It's like, man, it ain't even worth it. But once again, I'm going to state it once again. Let's not be simple. You still going to have to carry yourself as a man of the Lord. We're a representation of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. I don't mean walk around here looking crazy, do what you got to do as a man, walk around, be presentable, man. Nobody telling you to be a bum out here. Nah. Here at GMS, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, brothers are still going to be met with what? Brothers are still going to be met with high expectations. Okay? So just because just because you in the truth, and we understand how wicked this world is, there is a order still, to follow. Don't also be discouraged, Akyam. Because, we all fall into those moments of, slight disappointment, even slight depression. Like you feel like your life isn't fulfilled, by things you weren't able to accomplish, or you may have been on the brink of something and the Lord woke you up. Hey, I take the Lord waking me up as my lottery on this side, bro. You have to see it. If you don't see that being in this truth as the lottery pick, I don't know what to tell you, bro, to be honest with you. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't see this as a lottery pick, I do not know what to tell you, bro. I'll continue reading. Once again, let me reread verse 25 again, Salaki. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Okay? Being, true living, with Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay? Verse 26, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Like what are you going to profit, bro? Okay, you're getting all the box, you're getting the Bugattis, you're getting the Diablos, you're getting a 3.2, hell, a $1.2 million mansion. This is still expensive as hell. I know people say, $1 million ain't too much, because of inflation. Look, a 1.2 million home is still a nice ass home that honestly you're probably not going to be able to afford on an average salary. So, with these things being presented to Jake, it's only temporal, man. It's only temporal. So all the bad women, all the bad homes, all the fly whips, the jewelry, and then what? Jake becomes very dependent on what? Alcohol. Jake becomes very dependent on their choice of drugs and so forth. Hell, a lot of these Jake can't even make music unless they're under the influence, and that's crazy. Because like I say, I'm not shy about it. I used to do music, so no reason to, like, bro, I wanted a clear mind, but these, hey. But it's not. It's a very what? It's a very murky industry, man. It's a very muddy, very dirty industry, man. Okay, this very cutthroat, just a wicked place, to have endeavors in. Really, you know. Let me read verse 26 in its entirety. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? You know what? You give up your unfortunately, Jake is given anything from sexual favor exchanges to be ruled over by we know who, the small hats, to be ruled over, to be told what to do, to be Jake be ready to crash out for their oppressor, man. Jake be ready to crash out for people who don't have their best interests at heart. Okay? Well, we know what you've given up in exchange for their soul. You know what I'm saying? Some money that they could hit the button on at any time. Yeah, we'll just freeze his accounts and so forth. Ruin his name. Look what they doing to Diddy. Look what, you know what I'm saying? And not excusing, because that's a nasty, wicked nigga. Not excusing him. But look, that they'll take it there. All that business, Jake, that shit don't matter. You step on those small hats, toes, eat them, toes or whatever, you step on Edom and Amalek's toes and see what happens. And see if you're not looking crazy as hell or being made to look like, oh, this is all which Jake does have to be responsible for that. But once again, why is that option there? And the reason being, because what? It's an abomination. A false balance is an abomination to the Most High. You got left and right. You gotta choose. And if you smart, you're gonna choose that right hand side, baby. Okay? And once again, verse 26, hey, bro, you giving up, you just, unseemly things, participating in orgies and homosexual activity just to maintain a rep and shit, just to die broke and addicted and just a glamorized demon. Okay? Just a glamorized demon. Okay? Verse 27, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. That's why how we move from the apostles, bishops, and elders on down. Okay? That's how, that's what we're looking to be rewarded. I'm not looking to be rewarded on this side. Okay? If I can, just continue to do the work, be left the hell alone, be brotherly as possible, and being left the hell alone, that's not gonna happen. We in captivity, but it's just a thought. Something we always say. Like just you know what I'm saying. It's just really just about being a better servant, a better brother, and just enduring to the end, man. Okay. Verse 28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Okay. That's gonna be the elect. That's what the elect is waiting on, man. This is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shah. He is salvation. He delivers. HaMashiach, the Messiah. Okay. So that's the tip we on through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, man. That's the reward this that needs to be sought after. Because if you still, man, you still thinking you about to be famous in 2025, bro, you crazy. You just you just with the Diddy situation. You just looking to be just freaky and all out there, bro. It's no benefit. You know, a lot of people just vain, very empty. You know, very empty, man. If y'all could bear me, Baba Kusha, let me get verse. Isaiah 28. Start at verse, where am I at? 15. There we go. This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And it's very interesting. The Lord is so cold, man, because look, when Kanye started going on these podcasts and speaking freely, people, hey, you better believe the industry was put on notice, man. Okay? The industry is put on notice. Hey, even with the whole Epstein thing, okay? This always goes back years and years and years and years and years. Okay? So I made the reference to I can't think of that blues singer's name, but it's like, look, Jake been selling out a long time. Hey, Jake been selling out since the ancient times, okay? So make no mistake, there's the stories of Jake selling out, okay? You know, one of the most notable ones was who? Judas Iscariot, right? Trying to force the Lord's hand and so forth, and took the shekels and trying to give it back. Nah. He made a covenant with what? Death. So this, you know, this is nothing to, you know, just take as a light thing, man. With all that's going on in the world, man, we all have choices, man, and you better make a solid choice that's going to secure your, you know, secure favor with Yahweh Bashmiel Shah. And of course, all the nation of Israel is going to be brought back in the kingdom. But, you know, why not try to get it right this time? You know, why not try to get it right this time? You know, really live for something, man. Okay. Verse 16, therefore, thus saith Yahweh our power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. Okay? You know, so you have to be, you know, totally committed to Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. Okay? Well, you know, we're too close to where, you know, horrible decision making is an option. No. We ain't into making, you know, horrible decisions, bro. It's never beneficial. Look at all these entertainment jakes. These contracts they've signed, hey, has been the death of them, literally. You know, figuratively, spiritually, symbolically, however you want to put it. The scriptures will remain undefeated. Okay, verse 17. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. So none of these Jakes are going to hide, man. Jake is going to be judged accordingly, man. You made a contract with death. You made a covenant with death or what have you. Hey, it's not going to hold weight against judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. Jake just sit there and told you, you know, because I remember, you know, when you were younger, Jake, you said, oh, you know, here they come with the Illuminati stuff. Jake started speaking out. The biggest figures in the history of music and billionaires coming out. Oh yeah, this is wicked. This was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody telling on everybody, man. Call Allah Yah B'Shem Yahshua. Everybody's telling on everybody, man. And it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Okay? Verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Woo. So it's going to be what? It's going to be overruled. It's going to be overturned. Okay? And your agreement with hell shall not stand with the overflowing, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Okay? Unless Jake, like straight up, because the two that come to mind who play against, well, Salakia 3, Kendrick Lamar, Kodak Black, and Chingy, which all know they're Israelites, one of the twins from Jagged Edge. So Jake had the opportunity. The Most High opened up the floodgates. Really the Most High opened up the floodgates, of course, starting with Abba Bivens and so forth, with the apostles, bishops, and elders on, until now, right? So the floodgates have always been there, but the Lord opened those floodgates like, hey, like you got the most, and Kanye and Kyrie, man. Carmelo Anthony, all these Jake know what time it is, man. But did they truly repent? Or, hey, that's between them and the Most High, but it don't look like they've chose a side, and the Lord's going to disannul that contract, man. The Most High is going to disannul that contract that they think they're going to run off into the sunset or be in a bunker somewhere. Nah, because they just going to get swallowed up being hand in hand with Esau. You think E gonna save you from the Most High? You got to be out your damn mind, man. But that's all I had on this. And Abaratazah, this is edifying for the body. So once again, with that, call halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, Waharakakodash Brakatham. Once again, I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Achion pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquat that are listening. Shalom.